Building an indie business in the center of venture capital. I am Alex Edmonds. People on the internet call me Supreme Rumham, and this is the Building an Indie Business podcast, recorded in the Indie Business Studio. Okay, so I haven't recorded in a while because I've been working, and I don't want to talk about work, and I haven't been doing much except reading. So I'm going to do a episode about Shopify store tips, because I've been reading articles, I've been reading tweets, I'm reading a book right now, I'm still reading it, but it's just like gathering things about Shopify so that when I'm ready to launch smashingthemes.com, I have all these things that I can do and just like optimize the store as best as I can. So I will share some of those tips for an episode to help me get in the groove back in podcasting. My note, my note on this is 1,000 words, right? That's an article. So I don't know if I'm going to finish this all or add everything. I didn't go through it too much, but I will give you what I can, and I might do a second episode on this to get back in the groove. So, okay. The first tip that I have is do pages instead of infinite scroll, and I didn't capture the reasoning, but I think the reasoning is that with infinite scroll, it's just one page, and it's all it gets to become a wall of text, and that's hard for Google to index. So with pages, it's easier to index. And then, so there's the schema for Google, and I forget what it's called. Hold on, let's look at it together. Oh wait, I don't have it. Structured data, that's what it's called, structured data. And there's articles, there's blog, and then there's FAQ, right? So what you can do is you can create a page of frequently asked questions, and that would be how long does an order take to fill? How long is shipping? Blah blah blah. Get a list of things that people constantly ask you, right? If they ask you 3 times, put it on the list, and that way, you can just direct people to that page, and then have that question answered, and then you add the FAQ schema, structured data to that page, right? And also, this is how I wrote the book. I just took things that people were constantly asking me. I put it in a blog post, and then I wrote it in a book, and that's how the book came to be, right? Okay. Titles. So use exact keywords in your titles. So if you're selling dog food, put dog food in the title, and then use numbers. Do 2022, do top 10, use parentheses. So I do this with the podcasts on YouTube. I have the episode, and then I have in parentheses building an indie business, right? Do the same exact thing because it's all Google. So maybe it's WordPress theme, smashing themes in parentheses. And then what would the number be? I guess WordPress theme 2022, something like that. 40 total characters, 60 max. Uniqueness. So maybe, having smashing themes in the title makes it unique. And then for the slug of the page, use exact keywords as well. So if WordPress theme is my title, put WordPress theme in the slug. Okay. And then color palettes. So I saw something on Twitter that was saying how an industry has certain color palettes that they use to attract customers, and you can look up your color palette for the industry. So if your let's say you're selling like pet products, what you do is you look up pet and color palette and it'll show up. And I think that color palette is like light blue, orange, brown. And then speaking of colors, their colors have different meanings or things that people think. So like blue is deep and cool, black is sophisticated and serious, red is action and passion, gray is dependable, conventional, yellow is submissive, green is envy. So if you want people to have these feelings about your products or your store, use those color schemes, right? So I want people to think my store is it's high end, right? I want serious people, so I'm gonna use black. And then I also want people to think, you know, this store, it's good, it's reliable. I can always trust it. So I'm gonna use gray as well. And you'll see this when the store is live. I'm gonna use that, and I always use those colors. I don't use it because of this, but I just like gray and black. So yeah, um, add your business address to the footer. So you might not have an address that you want to put in the footer. So I'm gonna give you a tip. What you can do is, let's say, um, legally speaking, you should have an LLC that protects you from any liability, and you have to register that with the government. When you register it, like the office that does the paperwork has an address, and it'll show on that paperwork. When you look up like your LLC, it'll show this was registered in Wyoming, and here's the address of the people that did the paperwork. Use that address, so that way people don't find you, right? Okay. The next tip is help customers make quick and easy decisions. Give them guarantees, comparison pages, clear messaging. So guarantees are like guaranteed free shipping, guaranteed free returns, comparison pages. That's why you see stores that will give you like three options for pricing. They'll give you like the monthly price, the yearly price. If you want to pay every 6 months, they'll show you all those options, or they show you like the different packages. So if you want to do plus, if you want to do premium, if you want to do premier, they'll show you all the things you have, or all the features you have access to. Then it'll grow, and then it'll grow more, right? That's why they do that. And then clear messaging is saying like, hey, premium is $50, plus is $25. The expensive one is $100. It's clear what you get when you buy something, right? And then there are a few things that you should do when you launch your first store. You can customize your checkout, and that would be like the design of it, making sure that you only make people fill out information that they need to fill out. So I'm doing a digital product store, so I don't need their address, right? I can erase that. There's also like making sure people have the payment methods that are options that you want them to use. So do you want them to use PayPal? Do you want them to use Stripe? Do you want them to use crypto? Make sure those options are there at checkout for your customers, right? There's also removing the powered by Shopify logo at the bottom of the store. That's something very simple. I don't really think it matters in terms of like your customers. But what you can do is like maybe put your name there, like how I always do on all the websites that I have. I have like built by Supreme Rum Ham in 2020 or 2019 or 2018. I've been doing that since I started web development. So you can do something like that, right? And then The last thing is make sure you have a privacy page, shipping page, terms and conditions, contact, about, and a refund page. Just basic stuff. I'm not sure. I think a theme should come with it. I'm not entirely sure. I have been like slowly messing around with Shopify themes. I just haven't looked into like what it actually comes with. Okay, so let me skip that one. Actually, let me do this one. So, how to write better copy. So here's one example that is bad copy. Our water bottles are a favorite of over 10,000 women across the world. Here's why they love them. And then this is better copy. 10,000 women worldwide use our bottles. Here's why they love them. So the difference is that, let me see. 10,000 women worldwide. It's shorter, for sure. It's saying the same thing, right? So just keep it short and simple. You know, the first copy was like 2 lines, and the first copy is like 1 line in my notes. So, and it's saying the same thing. People like to skim things, so make your copy skimmable and short, or short and skimmable. Yeah. And I think what might also be worth mentioning is when it comes to Google Images, you don't necessarily describe what exactly is it. Okay, let me just read this. And I think what might also be worth mentioning is when it comes to Google Images, you don't necessarily need to describe what is in the image, but rather kind of like what this image means for your particular page. So if you have a picture of a beach, you could use an alt text and say, oh, this is a beach. But you could also say, this is a beach in front of our hotel, or this is a beach we took a photo of when we were doing chemical cleanup. Okay. And then the next thing is SEO language tips. So so at the end of the URL, you can put EN, DE, and then ES. ES is Spanish speaking. So yeah. And this is ES is to target Spanish speaking users irrelevant of their location. And then use ES-ES to target Spanish speaking users in Spain, right? So then if I wanted to do ES, if I wanted to target Spanish speakers in DR, it'd probably be ES-DR, right? And then X-default, use this as the default page for unmentioned languages, right? Okay. And then this is something about the cart. So we thought instead of directing customers to their cart, why don't we direct customers to the checkout with the discount code embedded so they don't have to... Oh, I remember what that is. So this comes back to like not making it so hard for users to buy your stuff, right? So I saw that and I just put it in my notes and I didn't really explain it because I never planned to do this episode. Okay, so on Shopify specifically, you have the ability to send users like you can send users a link that directs them to like the page with the discount code already in there, and then they have to click like buy this. No, they go to checkout. They have to still click checkout. But you can also redirect your customers to a page that has all that information already filled out for them. So you're sending them a link to checkout with the discount and the product already in the cart. So that way all they have to do is click like checkout now and fill out their information. And that's it. Right? Yes. And then for images, to optimize your images for SEO, first I reduced the actual size of the image to 800 pixels wide. I save the images as a high quality JPEG. Next, I compress the images to reduce the file size. Next, optimize the file name you want to be human readable and probably include a keyword or important phrase. So I also an image with a file name that contains the word official Dodgers fit baseball cap. Should probably put Yankees, not Dodgers. Um, is pretty specific. It is likely that the image is related to the phrase used in the file name. The more information you can provide the search engine about your product, the better. Okay. I had to scroll down for that. Let's see. In terms of your keywords and like your blog posts, finding those niche areas where, people might not be writing content for those key phrases, what you can do is you can do best, cheap, or quotes. So best WordPress theme, cheap WordPress theme, and like a quote for like WordPress theme quotes. That doesn't really work for WordPress, but like it works for insurance. And actually, this is what I do for work. So I find keywords and I create ads for them. So I will do I'll create senior life insurance ads, and I have to find the keywords and add those to the domain for people to click on it, and that's how I make money. So I'll do like best senior life insurance, cheap senior life insurance, top senior life insurance near me. Sorry, that's that's about my work, and I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, okay. This is a long episode, so I'm gonna cut it here. Thank you for listening.